There is a question and some doubt among the authorities of a masjid in India regarding the nikah ceremonies conducted inside the masjid. After the nikah, relatives, friends, and members of the public usually congratulate the groom by doing musafaha and mu'annaqa with him, and photographs are taken during those moments as a way of preserving the memory of this special occasion. Since nikah is a major event that generally occurs only once in a person's lifetime, people naturally wish to capture those moments. So it is important to mention that there is no free mixing between men and women, no music, no shouting, and no inappropriate celebration. Everything takes place in a calm, respectful, and dignified manner suitable for the sanctity of the masjid. So the question is, in this situation, does taking photographs inside the masjid after the nikah, including pictures of people congratulating the groom through musafaha and mu'annaqa, as well as picture with the groom, go against the dignity and the sanctity of the masjid, or is it permissible as long as it remains respectful and within Islamic boundaries? Jazakallah khairan.
Wajazakum. First of all, for those who do not understand musafaha and mu'anaqa, musafaha is to shake hands, mu'anaqa is to embrace one another. So after the nikah ceremony, the marriage ceremony has been conducted in the masjid, they may go and congratulate the groom, the father of the bride, and wish them well by saying the dua, Allahumma barik lahuma wa barik alayhima wajma' baynahuma fi khayr. And while doing this, some may snap and take photos of the event. Personally, I believe that this is totally fine, because this is not disrespecting the masjid, and it is not something that is agreed upon to be haram. Snapping photographs of men or children is permissible. Taking photos of women is totally prohibited. Keeping photographs of deceased is totally prohibited. Now, one may say or argue that it is disrespecting the masjid, we should not do this, we should not conduct nikah in the masjid to begin with, and this is all bogus. Wasn't it authenticated that the Prophet ﷺ approved of the Abyssinians playing with their spears and fighting in the masjid and practicing? What is, in your logic, more disrespectful? This, where there is the sound of cracking and hitting spears and shouts, or conducting a respectful nikah and no shouting, no music, no dancing, nothing of that sort? It's logical that doing such a thing is far less, according to other people's logic, to be lacking respect. So there's no problem in all of that, inshallah. Her Christian neighbor offers her food on Christmas, and this neighbor has a newly reverted son, and she's inclined to Islam. So Neshwan is afraid that if she rejects her gift or food, that she will be offended. To make a long story short, it is totally permissible for a Muslim to accept a gift from a non-Muslim on their festivals. So if the Hindus give us food on the Diwali, and the food itself is halal, there's no problem in accepting it. What's prohibited is for me to give them food on their festivals, or to participate in gatherings and celebrations with them. This is totally prohibited for a Muslim. But if I'm in the comfort of my own home, or I'm at work, and somebody brings me some candies, or brings me a piece of a cake of a birthday, and you're not diabetic, it's okay to eat it. You're not in a gathering with them, and the food is halal. And this is what the companions used to do. When Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, was brought with a gift that the fire worshippers do on their Nairuz, and it's called faludaj. It's a form of sweet. And he tasted it and said, whoa, that's good. Have this every now and then brought to us. He accepted the gift, though he knew that it was a celebration of the fire worshippers. But he's not in the gatherings with them. He's not congratulating them. So there's nothing wrong at all in accepting her gift, providing that the food is halal.